Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you very much for being with us today. My name is Denise El Khatib, Marketing Manager at Hood River Consulting, and I'm joined today by Francisco Heili, Senior Technical Manager, and Gianmarco Merino, Functional Consultant at our company. We also have the pleasure of being joined by Oracle NetSuite leaders in the region. We'd like to thank them for supporting us and for being with us today. We're really excited about today's session because we have record attendance with attendees from many different countries. Just a few words about us before we begin. At Hood River Consulting, we're a team of NetSuite implementation and optimization experts, both Oracle NetSuite Alliance partners and Suite Cloud Developer Network partners. We have over 14 years of experience working with NetSuite, more than 400 successful projects on the platform, and we are now present in 10 countries with a strong team of certified consultants. We serve clients all over the world, primarily across the Americas. We have experience across a wide range of industries, and lately we have been helping our clients implement and customize AI tools. And now we'll dive into the subject of today, AI in NetSuite ERP. The floor is yours, Fran.
Thank you, Dan. Today we want to make this very practical. We are not going to talk about AI as a generic trend or as something abstract. We are going to focus on what AI can actually do when it's connected to an ERP like NetSuite. There are three main things we want you to take away. First, you will see a live demo using real NetSuite data. Second, we will introduce a simple framework, 3 layers of AI in NetSuite, which will help you to understand where to start. And third, we will share 2 real client examples where AI was used to improve daily work inside NetSuite. The goal is not only to show technology, but to connect it with business value, process visibility, and practical adoption as well. Before we go into the framework, we want to start with something concrete.
All right. Let me share my screen. Hello, everyone. My name is Gianmarco Merino, functional consultant here at Hood River Consulting. And what you are looking at my screen right now, by one side is Claude, and by the other is NetSuite. And Claude is connected live to my NetSuite account through something called the NCP connector. Think of NCP as a secure bridge. NetSuite on one side, AI on the other. Data flows, actions happen, and everything stays logged inside NetSuite. Today, I'll show you 2 tasks. The first one reads from NetSuite, and the second one you'll see. So here in Claude, I'm asking this question. In NetSuite, search for all vendor bills for this year. Find insights. Build a dashboard and recommend actions to take. All right, perfect. So what was happening? Claude is querying NetSuite right now. It's pulling every vendor bill for the year. And notice the instruction is open-ended. I didn't tell it what to look for. I said, find insights, build a dashboard, and recommend actions. It has to decide what matters. And it's using SuiteQL to read the actual transaction data. So no export, no spreadsheet, just a plain English question pointed live at your system. Perfect. He's building it right now. Yeah. Oh, great. I have it here. So there you go. This is the dashboard. It's telling me that I have around $255K in total spend from this year with 43 bills generated. It's also showing me the concentration graph, being General Motors, the biggest vendor that I have so far, following by Toyota, Tesla, Audi, and so forth. It's also showing me the seasonality, let's say, of the monthly spend over the whole year. But it's also showing me insights, right? There is a big point here talking about concentration risk. For sure, this is pretty clear in the graph. Is also telling me a stock recurring charge I need to take care of, a lumpy cash flow as well. And finally, is telling me some actions, some recommendations. So I need to take in order to improve the business. Yeah, investigate the bulk buying batch, clear the approach, backlog, 23 pending, and so on and so forth. Yeah, this is very cool and very insightful. So you can build this kind of reports or dashboard from whatever record you have inside NetSuite. Now, this is very cool, but the real question is, can it act? So reading data is very impressive, but can Claude create real records from a single plain English request and write it into NetSuite currently? Let's see. Let me copy this specific prompt that I built. I will clean a little bit so you can understand what I'm talking. Perfect. And I will use a bit more effort. Let's say this with Opus High. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm doing here is creating a complete marketing campaign. So one request creates two records back to back. First, a campaign email template with a full HTML design. Then use that template and create a marketing campaign with 3 scheduled emails events. Perfect. So right now, what Claude is doing, he's creating the first record. So you'll see here that I put a lot of information about how I want to be the email with the name for sure, when it's going to be my event, it's going to be in July 15, where, and how the content will look like. Perfect. What it says, he already created. So he created with this ID, and the name is Demo NetSuite Branch Email Template. Let's see, we have it here. I will refresh it. Perfect. It's right there. Let me open it. Oh, I want to see how it looks. Oh, cool. Very fancy. I like this style. I just let me compare the data. July 15, San Francisco. Perfect. I like it. I think it's very cool. Second, what Claude did, he created the campaign correctly, okay? He says, this is the ID, and the name that I put it is NetSuite branch. Let's refresh this page of my marketing campaigns. There we go. Great. NetSuite branch, perfect. All right, let's see. I asked for $10,000 cost, which is good. 100,000 expected revenue, which is also good. And 3 events, being the first one today, good. The second one is a 1 week reminder before the event, so on July 8th. And then on the event day. Perfect. I think he made it really, really, really well. Okay, so 2 full records written into NetSuite and verifying from a single request in about 90 seconds, let's say. So that's NetSuite with AI on top of it. It reads anything you give it access to, and it writes anything you give it permission to write to. And every action, every record created, every field, it's logged inside NetSuite with the outreach trail you already used for your team. So the data never leaves, the control never changes, and you just get a faster way. Now, Frank is going to explain you what's actually going on underneath.
Thank you, Gian. This demo shows an important point. AI becomes much more valuable when it's connected to real business data. Many companies are already using AI tools in isolated ways, maybe drafting text, summarizing emails, helping with documents. That's useful, but the impact is very limited if the AI does not understand your customers or your processes, your financials, and so on. That's why the ERP is such a strong foundation. NetSuite already contains structured data, defined processes, records, and business rules. And when AI connects to that environment, it can move from being a generic assistant to becoming a decision support tool based in the reality of your specific business. As I said before, to organize this conversation, we like to think about the AI in NetSuite in 3 different layers. This helps to answer 2 different questions. The first one is, what does NetSuite already do with AI today? And the second one is, what can we build or connect using NetSuite and AI? Those are different questions. They require different levels of effort or governance and customization. Some AI capabilities are already native, but others can be built inside your NetSuite environment. And others involve connecting external assistants to interact with your NetSuite data. This framework helps to decide where to start based on your business need, complexity, and expected value. Here's a quick summary of the 3 layers. Layer 3 is what you can connect from outside. This includes external assistants like Claude or ChatGPT interacting with NetSuite through a controlled access. Layer 2 is what we can build inside NetSuite. This is where AI becomes part of your specific workflow. You can define your rules, your record, your approvals, your customer data. And layer 1 is what NetSuite already does for you. These are native AI features that can be enabled and can be used without a custom development. The important thing about the 3 layers is that they are not competing with each other. They are just different paths, and some companies should start with native features. Others will get more value from a custom use case, but others may just need a conversational layer over the ERP data. Okay, let's start with layer 3. It's probably the most visible and the easiest to understand after the demo. The MCP connector enables an external AI like Claude or ChatGPT to query NetSuite data. But the key idea is control. This is not about opening the ERP and letting AI do anything it wants. The company can define what information is exposed, what actions are available, and under what permissions. This is valuable because many ERP users don't want to learn every report or every safe search. They just want to ask a business question and get a useful answer quickly. For example, which customers have overdue invoices, or which vendors should we prioritize for payment this week? So the assistant becomes a conversational interface over a controlled ERP capability. This slide is really important because it addresses one of the biggest concerns about AI, which is the governance. Connecting AI to ERP only makes sense if the organization can control what the assistant can see and what the assistant can do. In this model, you can choose which data is accessible. You can define which actions can be executed directly by Claude, for example, as we said, and which ones require some kind of human approval. The access, in all cases, can be logged and can be auditable, which is critical for sensitive business information. And the goal here is not to replace NetSuite security, but to respect it and build on top of it. The main value here is not speed or convenience. It's speed and convenience within a controlled environment. That's what makes this type of AI adoption realistic for an ERP context. Now let's move into layer 2, which is what we can build inside NetSuite. This is where AI becomes more specific to your business. Instead of using it as a separate tool, we can incorporate that into workflows that already exist for your company. For example, we could generate an automated customer summary before a sales or a support call. We could analyze open support cases and we can suggest a response based on customer history. We can draft communications, we can draft reports, we could also draft internal notes using actual transaction and record data from NetSuite. The difference here is context. The AI is not guessing from a blank page. It's working with structured ERP data, your own business rules, and the process where the users already works every day. As you already know, before AI, many of these activities require some kind of manual review, maybe opening multiple records, checking transactions, reading cases, going one by one, looking at invoices. With AI, the goal is not just to make something look modern. The goal is to reduce time, reduce friction, improve the quality of decisions. For example, a customer summary that used to take 30 or 45 minutes can be created in just seconds. Sales opportunities can be detected automatically from ERP data. Support teams can open a customer record and immediately see the key context. Emails and reports can be drafted from real system data. That's where AI starts becoming operationally useful, and that's the main added value. As we said before, we have a few success stories. One example of this approach is Octane Seating, which is a manufacturer and retailer of premium home theater seating and home cinema solutions. Because they sell high-value products with a strong focus on customer experience, their support team needs quick access to the full customer story when handling cases. The challenge here was not simple, let's add AI. The goal was to help support and sales teams understand customer and case context faster inside NetSuite, reducing the time spent searching across records and across customer interactions. About our process, we started with discovery and use case definition. We identified main pain points and AI opportunities. From there, we designed the solution architecture, we designed the prompts, the data model, and the governance approach. Once the foundation was in place, we developed AI-powered case summaries and customer summaries that consolidated activity, highlighted key context, and suggested specific insights directly in NetSuite. The important lesson about this is that the technical build is only one part of the work. Defining the process, the data, and the user experience is just as important. AI creates value when it fits naturally into your daily workflows. Another example of this is USAC, which is an international education organization that manages study abroad programs and supports students through their academic journey. The challenge with USAC was visibility. The USAC advisors needed a faster way to understand a student status with their billing information, their recent interactions, and next steps without searching through multiple records in NetSuite. So again, we started by identifying the key data points user needed most. Then we built a data aggregation layer to consolidate information from different sources. On top of that, we used generative AI to create student summaries, to surface important insights, and to highlight recommended actions. I think USAC is a great example of AI solving a common ERP challenge. The information already exists, but user spends too much time finding it and connecting the details. And that closes the custom AI layer, the layer 2. Now Gian is going to take us into layer 1, the native AI capabilities NetSuite already provides today. Gian, back to you.
Thank you, Fran. Let me share my screen now. All right. Layer 1. This is what you already pay for. No development, not integration. These are AI features Oracle already built into NetSuite. You just turn it on. I'm going to show you some of them live right now in a standard NetSuite account. For each one, I'll tell you what it does, then we'll go straight into NetSuite and use it. So the first one is Text Enhance, your AI writing partner inside NetSuite. Say I'm setting up a new item. I enter, for example, here the name. I will call it dark Peruvian coffee. By the way, this is a great coffee around the world, just in case you don't know. I will write a brief description. I'd say a brand new dark chocolate tasted coffee from the islands of Peru. Perfect. All right. So now watch. I'm gonna click this button, generate. He's thinking. Perfect. He made it. All right. So it doesn't just rewrite the box. It reads the relevant content from around the whole page, the title, my notes, etc., and writes a complete, accurate description. You see? So from here, I can make it longer. I can make it shorter, rewrite it. Let's say we are going to make it shorter a bit. Yeah. Perfect. He made it short. So, and there's one important thing that it remembers context. For example, if I want to create a new description here, so he is going to take all the information for the whole page and he's going to write this description based in all the on the previous information. So it's like one writing partner everywhere there is a text field. And this feature is across NetSuite. So it's in almost any record that has a description field, like entities, sales order, purchase order, invoices, and so on and so forth. You name it. Second one, intelligent recommendations. This one drives revenue. Let's say I'm about to create a new sales order with this specific customer. So NetSuite recommendations engine looks at this customer purchase history, their preference, and similar transactions across the business, and it suggests the products most likely to buy. For example, I'm going to click this button here, and you'll see these 3 products that this customer bought in the past. Let's say I want to sell it again in this quantity. And then I'm going to apply this configuration. Perfect. Okay. So what you have here is this sales order with this specific item that the customer already buys. So it's very probable they will buy it again. And the cool thing about this feature is that it's configurable. So your business set the rules. It could be seasonal products. It could be alternative items, strategic upsells, you name it. And the point for your sales team is they stop searching for add-ons and spend their time on the customer instead. The next one would be Ask Oracle. Ask Oracle is the new front door that Oracle just built for NetSuite. Because everything I've shown you before is in the standard version of NetSuite. However, this time Oracle is bringing it all together in a new complete experience. NetSuite Next. You see that search bar, search of or Ask Oracle. That's the new front door for everything NetSuite. You ask in your own words, and NetSuite does the rest. Let me show you. Getting it is quite easy. You just go to your account. If you have this feature activated, not all of the accounts has. You just need to click this little label here, and you will have. Let me open the home page so you can see how it looks from the beginning. As Oracle is ever present. Wherever you are in NetSuite is right there for you. It's one unified experience for search, navigation, and natural language question. You don't need to have to think about which menu or report to open. You just ask in your own words. For example, let's look at some of previous shots I already did. Okay, let's open this, for example. I asked, give me the status of my open PO. And he made all of this for me. And if you realize NetSuite Next is built with trust, every PO references the exact transaction it came from. Same with vendors. Another example. Let me show you this specific question. I said, show me the last 3 invoices. Very open. So you can see here every figure, every customer, it's referenced. So you are sure, and you can be sure where the system took this information from. For example, you can also ask for a little more specific dashboard. Let me show you this one that I built before. I said, build a dashboard of analysis of my previous question, which was the open POs. And he made this for me. You can see it's more or less the same layout that you saw in the previous demo when I did it in Claude. Pretty similar, but you now have here inside NetSuite. There's one thing that I want to mention is that it's not like every AI tool that sometimes can hallucinate answers and so on. Here, you can click this button and you can read and you can be sure where NetSuite took this information. For example, he is telling me now that the interpretation that he has in order to build this dashboard for me, where it took it, and also the SQL command, if you want to be more tricky, right? So this is for technical people, but I think you understand my point. All of this information is your information. Perfect. I will show you another example of another feature. Next one is going to be narrative insights. Let me show you. Let's say you are in a report of your open purchase orders. Okay, so look at this. Look this little button here. If I open this button, you will see this, the narrative of this report. It's an executive summary. You can see here the top findings, the key risks, the key points and opportunities, the takeaways, everything I need to act on, written out for me. What used to be like 30 minutes of squinting at columns, it's now like a synopsis I can read in just a second. And because every team gets the same kind of summary, people interpret the numbers in the same way. Faster decisions, more consistent outcomes. And if you have realized, NetSuite Next is a complete different interface now. It's the same data, but different kind of experience for the user. For example, if you see here, the forms have been reimagined. Same for example, the list of the safe searches. So you have small filters. You have, let's say we want this. You have infinite scrolling, and the layout it's way more clean. Also, if you go to the home, for example, you can see some dashboard. And this dashboard become like a control centers. It gets you more visibility, more insights, and AI recommending actions in one place. So that's a little bit of NetSuite Next, a brand new experience built for working alone AI, an assistant that knows your role, your business, and your moment, right? And every answer grounded in your live NetSuite data. I will show you 3 more features that I won't demo in because we have not enough time, but they're also available in NetSuite. The first one would be AI analytics in warehouse. If you're using this tool, AI now helps you query it, build visualizations, and generate insights in natural language. So you don't need to be like a data analyst or something to get answers out of your own warehouse data. Another one is the exception management assistant. So AI continuously scans your financial data in the background. When it spots like something wrong, like an inconsistent amount, a broken pattern, a late PO, etc., it will tell you, ranked with context and with a suggestion also. It's like a colleague who reads every transaction while you sleep. And finally, this is something called OCR Bill Capture. This is actually pretty common and some clients are very requested. It's like AI reads vendor bills automatically. Let's say they extract the key fields and match them to your PO. So there's no manual data entry in accounts payable. And all of these features that I just showed you, everything are on the license you already own. Now Frank is going to tell you how to get started.
Thank you, Hiam. So to close the content section, the key message is there's not only one way to start with AI and NetSuite. Some companies may want to begin by enabling and adopting the native AI features that are already available. Others may have a very specific workflow where AI can remove hours of manual work. And others may be ready to connect an external assistant, as we saw, like Claude or ChatGPT, to interact with NetSuite data. I think the important thing is that you don't need to solve everything at once. There are multiple paths, and the right starting point depends on your business priorities, your data, and your processes. And I think that's exactly where our team can help. We can sit down with you, we can understand where the biggest opportunities are, and help to define a realistic AI path for your NetSuite environment. So if you are wondering where to start, we invite you to schedule a call with our team and let's figure it out together.
Okay, this brings us to the end of our webinar. Thank you, Fran and Gian, for the great walkthrough and live demos today. On the screen, you can see our contact details. The QR code redirects you to a form to schedule a meeting with our team. This form is also available on our website, of course. You can also contact us at info@hoodriverconsulting.com with any questions or comments you may have. You can find us as well on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where you will find our previous webinar editions and much more content. As mentioned before, we will be sending you the webinar recording in just a few days with English and Spanish subtitles. And this is the end. Thank you so much again for joining us and for staying until the end, and we look forward to continuing the conversation soon. Bye.